Namaste everyone. So to
Namaste.
recap what we have done so far, today is day 7 of our program. We have done 6 days of the program and some of you have made good progress. The first thing that we were trying to do was to get your breath down to the Mooladhara. Some of you have managed, some of you may have managed less than you should have, but at least it's gone deeper than it was initially going. Good thing, no problem with that. So that was our first target. Uh, I will not say 100% success, but I will say maybe closer to 75-80% success. Not very good, but I can live with that. I would obviously want 100% success because I want everybody to gain 100% from the program. But not everyone is able to make the same commitment and do the practices as required. So, we just have to go with the way things are. So that was the first goal post. Largely successful, 100%. Second part was channeling that breath up the spine, which I call the Hanuman master breath, which seems to be largely successful. Though, if your breath is not going to the Mooladhara, I will not count that as a 100% success either. Because it is only when your breath is able to move to the Mooladhara that the channel up the spine delivers the results that we require from it. So, largely successful, again, not 100%, but I'll live with it. I hope you can also live with it. Though I would love you to all want 100% success, but as you sow, so shall you reap. No pain, no gain. And I'm putting you through a lot of pain, I know. But what do I do? That's my job for the present. So I'll have to put you through that pain. And the third most significant part of the program was what we did yesterday, what I call the Lotus Opening Program. There were a few other things also, minor goalposts, but I'm trying to pinpoint the major goalposts or the major things that we wish to achieve through the program so far, and I've enumerated them. You may also make your own assessment how well it is working for you. Now, based on some of this work that we have done so far, we have not really started hitting the Tridosha balancing aspect of the breath. We have still not hit that 100%, though we have started a little when we started drawing our breath from the Manipura and channeling it up the spine. So to that extent, yes, but otherwise we have not hit the real thing of the program, the Tridosha balancing, the Kapha Dosha Nivaran aspect of the program, which we need to do in the next couple of days, obviously. So some of you who were not here yesterday, I will tell you a little about the Lotus Opening Program, a very subtle thing, a very subtle movement, but a very, very powerful movement because it works directly on the Sushumna. Now, all of you who have been with me through this program, some of you have also been in the Shwasko Shuddhi Kriya program. You understand how much my attention is on the Sushumna and on cleansing the Sushumna. As per my understanding, as per my insights and clarity, until such time as your Sushumna is opened, number one. Number two, cleansed. Your adhyatmic journey does not start in earnest. That is one part of it. But equally important, if not more important in some ways, until such time as your Sushumna is challenged or blocked, or it has something coming in the way, functioning of your body will also not reach its 100% efficiency. Your Sushumna connects all the major organs in your body, including all your sense organs. So once your Sushumna becomes active, once your Sushumna starts functioning well, you start getting multiple benefits in almost every part of your life. Almost every single part of your life, depending, of course, on how well you are able to cleanse it. And then, of course, it works on your chakras as well. So when the Sushumna begins to work on your chakras, certain buried stuff, old stuff, karmic stuff, etc., comes to the surface, which can cause a little bit of disturbance, a little bit of dismay, a little bit of problems, if you want to call it that. But if you keep your awareness, hold on, go through the program, with yourself reasonably composed, you will ride over that. It is really not such a big issue. You will ride over it, and once you ride over it, your benefits, your progress, and your and the gains from the program will be that much higher. So yesterday what I did was, that I'll make you all do that once again. Please lie down on your backs, pull your heels up to your stomach, up to your buttocks, and your knees pointed to the ceiling. Please lie down, and everyone turn on your video so I can see you when I want to see you. Lie down on your back, your heels pulled up to your buttocks, your knees pointed to the ceiling. Simple, this much. Stay in that position for some time and observe how your body begins to breathe. The breathing that happens when you are like this is what we call belly breathing. It's the start, and it's good. No problem with that. Continue with your belly breathing, but stay with that for some time. Stay relaxed. You may keep your tongue at the roof of your mouth. Keep your belly specially relaxed. And observe how your breath is passing, how your breath is moving through you. So when we did this yesterday, the participants brought their attention to how the breath was moving inside there. And then what they did was, as they lay in this position, as they stayed in this position, belly breathing, of course, but then they started channeling their breath from the Sahasrara all the way down to the Mooladhara. So that is one movement. Allow your breath to go all the way to the Mooladhara. That is movement number one. Simultaneously, like we have done before, we were also channeling one part of this breath up the spine. So one channel is going down towards the Mooladhara. At the same time, continuously, simultaneously, one part of your breath is moving from the Mooladhara up along the spine, up along the back of the spine. Basically, it's not the back of the spine, but it feels it. You might think of it as the back of the spine. Let me just call it along the spine. So these two movements should be very, very clear to almost everybody. What we did after this was, we tried to bring our attention to not the breath which is moving up from the Mooladhara along the spine. That is okay. We leave it. We take it for granted that everyone is doing it. We are not focusing on that. Our attention now is on the breath that is moving down to the Mooladhara. So bring your attention to the breath that is moving down to the Mooladhara, but don't stop that movement from the Mooladhara to the up the spine. Don't stop that. Let it be there. Only don't keep your attention there. Keep your attention more on the breath that is moving down to the Mooladhara. And now, as your breath is moving down to the Mooladhara, I want you to begin to feel where in your body this movement is happening. Which part of your body do you sense the breath moving down towards the Mooladhara? Some of the participants yesterday, they mentioned that the breath was moving down in somewhere in the middle of their body, somewhere close to the center of the body. Some also mentioned that it seemed to be along the surface of the body, along the outside surface of the body, and both are okay. And they are both channels, both these channels exist over there. Sangeeta ji, you have a question. Go on.
Yeah. How do you know when your breath is reaching the Muladhara?
You will know it. It's your body, you will sense it.
Okay, there's no, it is just something which you feel that it is reaching up
You will
there.
feel it. You will feel it. Especially when you engage the perineum, which we have been doing also. When you engage the perineum and you let your breath move down to the Muladhara, you will begin to sense it.
Okay.
I mean, it's your breath. It's touching you. It's moving inside. You get a sense of it. When it goes, you will get a sense of it. Until such time as it goes, you may be in that world of imagination. Shayad ja raha hai, shayad nahi ja raha. But once it goes, you will know it goes. It's going to be clear to you. It's going to be part of your experience.
And another thing I wanted to ask you, why do we touch our tongue to the roof? How does that
Because
help?
when we touch the tongue to the roof, it helps very subtly to open the sushumna. It is also part of what is called the Ujjayi breath. The Ujjayi breath works beautifully to start your Sushumna activated. So when we touch the tongue to the roof of the mouth, that gentle effect comes on the Sushumna. So that is why in all my breath
throughout all the breathing exercise which you are telling us,
it doesn't harm you. It's not going to take anything from you. So there's no problem. It's a very simple thing. You're not having to struggle to do it. Just keep it there. Because the more you are able to activate your Sushumna, the better results you will get. Therefore, we want, we want to load the dice in our favor. Let's put it this way. So all the little things that we do basically are loading the dice in our favor so that we can go towards the goal that we wish to achieve. What is the first goal? Like I enumerated a little earlier, the first goal was getting your breath to the Mooladhara. Most people, until such time as they start doing breath work seriously, they have zero experience of breath moving to the Mooladhara. Some of you have already started feeling that in just a couple of weeks, and that's a wonderful thing. There are people who might spend, years trying to do this and still not experience it, but it's happening to you within a few weeks. So that's a wonderful thing.
So right now we are doing 2 channels, one from the head to
Same.
the Mooladhara.
Sangeeta ji, same as yesterday. Just take it easy. Please lie down on your back and continue with what you were doing yesterday. Nothing new is being done just now.
Okay.
Please continue. So just bring your awareness to the breath. Feel the different channels moving through you. One channel moving down, maybe from the Sahasrara all the way down to the Mooladhara. That is one. Some of you might actually feel that there are 2 channels moving down towards the Mooladhara. If you can feel that, very good. If you cannot feel that, doesn't matter. Not an issue. But simultaneously, you are also feeling one channel from the Mooladhara move up along the spine. So these 2 movements simultaneously are important. If anyone is not feeling this, please tell me. If you are feeling it, very good. That is what we wish to do. So no need to bring your attention there or no need to respond. But if you are not feeling it, please tell me. Don't be shy. Tell me. I'll try and approach it a little differently to get you there. Okay. So since no one is responding, I assume everyone can very clearly feel the channels, the 2 channels at least. One moving down, one moving up. Wonderful. So now the one that is moving down, see where it is. Is it somewhere in the center, in the middle of the body, or is it along the surface of the body? Which one is it? So basically, this is what we did yesterday. And after this, we tried to bring our attention. We didn't try to bring our attention. We brought our attention to the Sushumna. You may do it lying down or you may want to sit down. Both are okay. But for now, you are comfortable lying down. So please stay like this. No problem. So the thing that we did yesterday was, you can continue lying down, Vijayji. No problem. I think it will be better only in some ways. Stay that way. No problem. So when we were, what we did at this point was, you brought your attention.
Sir, I will sit, sir. As it is my friend home, I will sit.
Okay. No problem. If you're comfortable sitting, perfectly all right.
Okay.
So as you continue, please continue with your breath work. Don't stop. Same breath work. So continue moving your breath. Be aware of both the channels, one moving down and one moving up. Okay? Be clearly aware of both these channels. And now, as you continue doing this, keep your tongue at the roof of your mouth, keep your stomach super relaxed. Sometimes, if you remember in the past, I have asked you to bloat your stomach or to try what is called ballooning. So try that ballooning now with your in-breath. Try that ballooning as your breath is moving in towards the Mooladhara and also as it is moving up along the spine. See if you can get that ballooning. Now, a very interesting thing, a very subtle thing happens. For example, when we go to urinate or when we go to defecate. So, as when we go to the bathroom to release the waste matter, we allow a very subtle kind of a opening, as if we gently allowed something to change a little, almost as if we've opened a tap. Very gentle, very subtle. And when we do that, feces or urine passes out of us. It's a very subtle thing. See, while you are sitting, while you are walking, usually nothing happens. But once you go into the toilet, something changes. You allow that little bit of expansion, a little bit of dilation, a little bit of easiness in that area that allows urine and feces to pass out of the system. Now that same kind of a dilation, that same kind of a relaxation, bring that into your Mooladhara. Now the Mooladhara is not the same as the anus or the anal opening or the urinary opening. It's different. The Mooladhara, as we have seen before, is at the perineum, right at the bottom in the case of men. In the case of women, it's towards the back of the uterine wall, if I'm not wrong. But I think most of you have an awareness of that. So I will leave you to do your own discovery. If you've had problems in the past, you would have asked me. Since no one has asked, I assume that you've had no real issues with that. So you allow that gentle expansion, that gentle dilation to happen at the Mooladhara. Now we are touching on what is called the Lotus Opening Program. The Lotus Opening Program is a very subtle program. It's a very subtle movement, but it's a very powerful movement. It may be subtle, but once you are able to do it, the effects are very obvious. Very, very obvious effects once you begin to do it, once you get the hang of it. And you are being shown something that nobody else seems to be aware of, nobody else seems to talk about, nobody else seems to share. And that is what you are experiencing or beginning to experience with this thing that you are doing now. Allow that little bit of expansion, that little bit of dilation to start with at the Mooladhara. To do this, your body needs to be very easy, very relaxed. Your belly also needs to be very relaxed. Hopefully, in the past few weeks of this program and some of the other things that you may have done with me, you have been able to go down deeper. That is why your breath has started also going deeper, because a certain deeper level of relaxation has come into your being. Now allow this little bit of expansion, very gentle kind of dilation at the Mooladhara. This same dilation which is happening at the Mooladhara, now raise it up. Hold that dilation at the Mooladhara, raise it up to the Swadhisthana area where your, the water organs are, the jal organs are. So the urinary system, etc., for example, the reproductive system, for example, bring it up to that level and allow that same dilation, that same gentle expansion, very subtle, very gentle. Stay with that. Some of you might feel certain sensations in your body. Very good, no problem. Feel those sensations and continue to raise this dilation higher. So from the Mooladhara, Swadhisthana to the Manipura, then to the Anahata, then to the Vishuddhi, and even higher. So bring it up. It's happening gently, very subtly at the in the Sushumna. Now, how do you know this is happening? The easiest way to know whether it is happening is the change in the quality of your breath. When it is happening, if it is happening, your breath will become a little smoother. It will become lighter. It will become easier. It will become pleasanter if you want. That means that lotus opening is beginning to take effect. Now, this lotus opening that is now beginning to take effect, chances are you are feeling it in that channel where the breath was coming down to the Mooladhara. So now you have to move the same thing up along the spine. So to start moving this up along the spine, at the tailbone, just below the tailbone, allow that same gentle dilation that you allowed in the Mooladhara. Allow the gentle dilation at the tailbone area, even as you are breathing in. And allow that dilation to carry the breath up along the spine. And if it is happening, you will notice an immediate change in the quality of your breath as it moves down and also as it moves up. This is your in breath. For the out breath, hold the dilation, hold that expansion. Let your breath leave you also through that dilation, through that expansion. So, those who were here yesterday, and maybe some of you here who are here today, continue doing whatever you are doing, but now engage your perineum. When you are breathing in, pull up your perineum gently. When you pull up the perineum, make sure it's only the perineum, only the Mooladhara. I do not want you to engage other muscle groups which are in part of the urinary system and part of the defecatory system. I do not wish you to engage those muscle groups. Engage only the Mooladhara, which is between both of them. As you breathe in, engage the perineum, lift it up gently, hold that expansion, hold that lotus opening, open the lotus position, build that into the back of the spine, up along the spine. Build it up there also by allowing a gentle expansion at the tailbone. Very gentle, smooth, very subtle expansion. But when it happens, you will feel clearly that your breath is moving more easily up the spine. Now, even as you continue to lie down and do this breath, you can play with the speed of your breath, but hold the expanded lotus. That lotus opened, the if you can feel it from the Sahasrara to the Mooladhara, very good. If you cannot feel the whole through the whole system, doesn't matter. Jitna hota hone dijiye, but allow that opening, that dilation to hold, even as you breathe in to the Mooladhara and up along the Mooladhara, up along the spine, up from the Mooladhara, up along the spine. The whole you is now as if the test tube or that little tube has become a little wider, has expanded a little. And if it has, you will notice immediately there is a change in the quality of your breath. Now, the more you do this expansion, the more you build on this today, tomorrow, over the next few weeks, the better and still better results you will get. Expanding your Sushumna, widening your Sushumna is something that people just don't know how to do. But here you are learning a very simple, very easy and very doable technique. And hopefully some of you are already seeing the results or the effects. If anyone is having any difficulty, any question, you may ask me. Any questions, any doubts, any problem? If not, I will assume it's all going very well. You are feeling the expansion. Your lotus is beginning to open. As your lotus begins to open, as your lotus begins to open at every chakra, the number of petals that are there, I hope you know, every chakra has a certain number of petals, like in a flower, number of petals, like in a lotus, petals. So those petals, in a sense, start opening. That's why I call this the Lotus Opening Program.
I can't feel any chakra beyond the navel chakra.
No, I'm not asking you to feel a chakra. At this moment, I'm only asking you to be aware of your Sushumna. I am not bringing your attention to the chakra. So please don't bring in extra. Keep your attention to what we are doing. Get that experience fully in your experience, in your system, so that you can build on that. Okay.
So I have a quick question. Actually.
Yes. Go on.
Yeah. So when I'm breathing down and then while breathing down simultaneously, I'm engaging the perineum. And then when I'm breathing out, that time slowly I have to
release the perineum.
Release.
Yes.
Okay.
So like I said earlier, we engage the perineum for the in-breath. That's it. For the out-breath, we can disengage. No problem. I'm sorry if I did not mention it. My bad. My mistake. Yeah, please continue doing it. Don't stop. Just continue doing it.
Can I sit and do it?
Yes, you can sit. You can sit and do it. You can stand.
Lying down and doing it, I am falling asleep totally.
No, you can sit and do it. You can walk and do it. I do it when I go for a walk. I do it in the mornings when I go for a walk, and I do it for a good 25-30 minutes. It has an immense effect on the body. Immense effect. Yeah, continue. Please continue.
Every time I am doing these exercises, lying down, I am so sleepy.
Enjoy your relaxedness.
Becomes very difficult to,
करिए जितना होता है करिए नहीं होगा इतना ही तो है.
And the in breath I am not feeling from my ear.
हो
going
जाएगा, वो भी आ
down.
जाएगा, वो
But
भी आ जाएगा.
exhale, I'm feeling going right up.
Okay. वो भी आ जाएगा experience में, don't worry. Very good. Continue doing it. Priya ji, Shanmugh Priya ji, you've been very quiet. Any comment, any feedback?
While lying down, I feel better keeping my legs straight rather than keeping them folded.
Then do it that way. No problem.
No problem.
जैसे आपको अच्छा, no problem. जैसे अच्छा लगता है. Whatever is helping you breathe better, do it.
Yeah, it is good, sir. Like even deeper than yesterday. Even while inhaling, I think I'm able to feel it in the Shushumna. I mean, it's so free. Initially, it was like till yesterday, it is like belly breathing. It's on surface level, the frontal body. But today, I feel it even more free. Exactly, the inner pipeline for breathing, sort of. So
And is your breath a little easier, a little smoother?
Very much.
Very good, very good. Then it's working well. Thank you. Very good. Sneha ji, you'll have to unmute and talk to me. Sneha ji, please unmute and tell me. Lakshmi ji, how's it going for you? Are you clear with the new techniques? Lakshmi ji?
Yes, Rajesh, it's going okay.
Going okay?
Yeah.
Is the Lotus opening happening?
I can feel something, so I'm assuming that is.
Are you breathing easier?
Yeah.
When you do that, if the breath becomes smoother, easier, that's a clear sign that the Lotus opening is happening. So very simple way to understand. Okay. Chaliye, karte rahiye. Very good. Okay. M. Ramya ji, I don't think I've seen you for quite some time. Please talk to me. M. Ramya ji, unmute and talk to me. Is it all clear to you? Is there any thing that you're stuck with? Any questions? M. Ramya ji. So Sneha ji is not saying anything. Maybe she has some problem, and Ramya ji is also not saying anything. Maybe she also has a problem. Okay. So until such time as the problem is sorted out, let it be. Others can tell me. Vijaya ji, how is your Lotus opening happening?
Yes, sir. I can able to feel that balloon.
Ballooning?
Effect. Yes, sir.
And
That's it. Yes,
throughout the
sir.
Sushumna?
Yes, sir.
Throughout the
Yes, sir.
Sushumna?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
when
sir.
you
Yes.
and when you do it, is your breath easier,
Yes,
smoother?
sir. Easier. Yes, sir. Easier. Yes.
You know? Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So you have to build on this. Like
Yes.
I was telling, thank you, Vijay ji, thank you. So like I was telling some of you yesterday, this is a very subtle technique. This is a very subtle thing that you are learning today. Now you must hold on to this. You must continue doing this regularly, because sometimes when we learn a new practice, do not do it for some time, it just kind of slips out of our fingers. It's there, but it's gone. And then it becomes very difficult to put our finger on it. So therefore, continue doing this regularly until you become very, very comfortable with it. Once you become comfortable with it, once you begin to see the results, you will not need any Rajesh ji to tell you ki ye kariye. You will automatically want to do this. But aap logon ka feedback bahut kam mil raha hai. I need more feedback from you. Please do share your feedback. Your feedback, your breakthroughs, your improvements will help others join with this program. So now what you are going to do is, you will continue with all that you have learned so far. The technique that you learned 2 days ago, not yesterday, the day before, yes, in the session, the penultimate session before today. Wrong word. Not yesterday's session, but the one before that. The thing that you had learned was breathing. You are as if you are drawing in the breath from the Manipura and allowing that breath to move in, while one channel from the Muladhara moves your breath up along the spine. So now you will continue doing all of this with the lotus opening. So on the one hand, you will hold that opened lotus. You will draw in your breath from the Manipura, the subtle breath, so to speak. And you will channel your breath from the Muladhara up along the spine. And you will do it with the lotus opened. If you want, you may continue lying down and doing it, or you may want to sit down and do whatever works for you. Do it. Try both. Whichever works better, try that more. Try kariye, do it for some time and tell me what you are experiencing. Yes, Mamaji, I think you wish to share something. How is it happening? Is it working? The lotus opening and the breath from the Manipura. Soumya, you have to unmute. You have to unmute.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, now I can. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about the lotus opening yet.
Okay.
Not so clear.
Doesn't matter. But when you do it, if your breath feels a little lighter, a little smoother, then it's a sign that the lotus opening is taking effect. Something is happening. It may not be happening to the extent that you want it to happen, but the process has started. In many ways, starting the process is difficult. See, the body has its own, what is the word? Inertia. The body has its own inertia. So to change something or to bring in a new movement in the body is sometimes difficult. So if that movement is starting to happen, that means you're breaking through that inertia. That's a good thing. Even if it's a very small, even if it's a very light move, but it's a move, and that's a good thing. So please continue with that. Try to do that. You know, it's basically just that dilation. It will help. It will help with numerous functions in the body, including organs in the lower abdomen in that area. It will help with all of those organs as well. So please build on this. All you have to do is allow that little bit of a expansion, a little bit of a ballooning, just as we do when we defecate, when we urinate. A gentle, fleeing of something happens. That is what we are going to allow throughout the Sushumna, at every chakra level, and of course between the chakra levels also. So when the whole Sushumna begins to feel a little dilated, it's almost as if think of it as a pipe. Quarter-inch dia, a pipe with a quarter-inch dia has become a let's say a half-inch dia pipe. Just to give a number, not necessarily that much, but just to give a number. Almost as if the pipe has expanded. Now, if that expansion in the pipe happens, what does it mean? It means that whatever that pipe is carrying now is able to carry much more.
Sir, actually, when doing with Manipura,
yes,
like that technique, this entire process becomes a little more faster, speedy.
That's okay. No problem. Speed as of now is not the issue. The issue at the moment is to combine all of them. Because see, remember, abhi tak apan ne jo bhi kiya, we were only doing the build up to come to the Tridosha balance, the operative part of the Tridosha balancing. Except for that drawing in the breath from the Manipura, we have really not touched the Tridosha part so far. But now with the Hanuman master breath, the lotus opening, and the drawing in breath from the Manipura, now we are going directly into the Tridosha balancing aspect, or the Kapha Dosha Nivaran. That is what we are going to work on now. Having created the background, having created conditions for it to happen the way we want it to happen. See, अभी तक आपका जो भी सुषुम्ना या जो भी वो चैनल है, जितना खुला था उतना खुला था. अब आपको उसको धीरे धीरे वाइडन करना. So what you have done yesterday and what you have done today has started the process of slowly dilating it. In your case, it's a very minuscule dilation that is happening. Sometimes, therefore, it is not even, it is not even in your experience. You can't really pin down and say, ki, हाँ, ये ऐसा हुआ. So the hint that you will get is if you feel a little lightness in your breath. If the breath feels a little lighter, it's a clear sign that a little easiness has come into the sushumna. Easing the sushumna, any kind of easing of the sushumna, any kind of dilation of the sushumna is going to give you super rewards in every aspect of your life. Guaranteed. It's going to give results, it's going to give you rewards in every single aspect of your life. Now, having done this expansion, having done this dilation, we are trying to move that dilation up along the spine. So down from the Sahasrara, down all the way to the Mooladhara, that's the in channel if you like, and the out channel from the Mooladhara up along the spine, because we want our energy to move up this way consistently. So now we are building on, or we are trying to get this dilation to work its way throughout the system. When the dilation begins to happen, when this expansion begins to happen throughout the system, suddenly, just to give a figure, a 200 or 240 volt system begins to go into 480 or higher voltage areas. So we are changing the system, not only in terms of the energy, the power, but also in terms of how well we are able to drain out what is not needed in the system. Draining out is very important. All that rubbish, for example, all the kapha, we don't need it. We don't want it. We need to drain it out. So this expansion, this dilation of the sushumna will help immensely in draining it out also. When that is drained out, naturally, whatever breath is bringing in is able to go to all the far reaches of the body much more easily. Very simple, very, very simple. There is no, there's no rocket science to this. And it's come only through observation. It's only come through observation of the breath. Very simple.
And sir, actually, yesterday after the class, somewhere for an hour or so, 7 to 8:30, like that, I had a stomach ache. It's sort of maybe heat is produced, kind of. So upper belly. That
sometimes things like this will happen.
Pain.
Observe. As long as it's not too disturbing, I wouldn't worry about it. Because
okay there, but only that pain I could feel. It was there for an hour or so, and then gradually it reduced and it just went off.
If your energy is moving freely or relatively freely, जो भी आएगा वो clear करते जाएगा उसको. It won't really disturb you too much. Like earlier, Sangeeta ji for a few days was complaining about heaviness in the head, heaviness in the chest, and so on. Now, had she not continued, she would have said कि नहीं इससे तो ये problem होता है, and that is the end of the story. That's the end of her journey. But she persisted. She said, doesn't matter, I'll continue. Comes and then it goes away. So now she is able to work through it and it's gone. Now she will go through some new experiences, just part of that. But as long as you are clearing, see, ultimately what you are doing is you are cleansing the system. If the system is cleansed, movement of energy, etc. will happen much better. That is what we want.
I too had 4 to 5 days of severe headache during evenings, only during evenings. But last 2 days it is not there. Like, as I said, a sort of suppressed frustrative feelings, all these were coming up. So I had a very severe headache, very disturbing. Now there
Yeah,
is no trace
right.
at all, because I thought maybe because it's due to the rise in temperature. We are in Chennai, so like
Could be
because
anything.
of this, that, but it's nothing like that. It is something internal. Now I'm feeling totally relaxed. Last 2 days, completely.
Excellent. So now please build on this. Continue with that breath. Draw in the breath from the Manipura and channel it the way I spoke, with the expanded, with the lotus open. All right. Anybody else? Any questions? Any doubts? Anybody else?
My breath is feeling much lighter.
Okay, very good. Yeah, that's precisely what should happen. If that Sushumna is getting, if the lotus is open, the Sushumna is expanding. Mamaji, how's it working? Are you feeling a little more expansion?
I can't be
You can't
sure.
say. But please continue with it. It's a very simple thing. Just continue with it. आपको फर्क मालूम पड़ने लग जाएगा. You'll actually begin to feel. And like I said, if the breath feels easier, it's a sign that it's happening somewhere. May not be to the extent that you want, but it's happening. Without a Mamaji, there's something going on, some question. You seem a little
No,
thoughtful.
but see, maybe my breath is already light. So
It
how
is.
can it become lighter?
Oh, it can become lighter. Because if the Sushumna expands, which is basically what it is, the Lotus Opening Program is basically getting the Sushumna to widen, to expand a little more. When that happens, your breath will become lighter. It will become smoother. Sometimes you will feel as if, almost as if there is no breath. It will become so light. It moves through you, breathes through you. It feels very good. So when I go for my walk in the mornings, I do that. And when I do it with the Lotus Open, it's a totally different experience. It's a beautiful experience. The energy flows so beautifully throughout the whole system.
So all that, like breathing in through the Manipura and feeling it going up the spine, you do all that while walking?
Yes, of course.
Even the Lotus
Yes.
Opening, you do?
Yes. Because see, the idea is to all my breathwork techniques, if I do each of the segments separately, little by little, I'm only going to get partial benefits. But when I combine all of them, like I'm trying to do for you, I'm trying to give you that combined breath for you to use. It's only when you do the combined breath that you get the super benefits, which is what makes the difference. See, otherwise, tell me, Sangeeta ji, how would I be able to reduce my Kapha Dosha almost to the tune of 90%? There was a time when my body was so phlegmatic, it created so much phlegm, and my chest was so congested. No matter how much I gargled, no matter how much I maintained ye khaya, wo nahi khaya, isko choda, usko choda, it still continued to do that. But with this breath work, all this, it doesn't mean that never rises. It rises. Like abhi thode din pehle, for a few days, every day I was having amras. And amras creates a little phlegm in my body. I've noticed that before also. So it did create. And also the chal kumda, the white kumda, it's a very thanda. So even that, yeah. So I had that along with Bale Sharbat. So the kapha portion, the kapha production increased in my body. But I was able to throw it out within a couple of days. So ये सब balancing तो करते रहना पड़ेगा. But even so, my body is not producing phlegm like it was earlier. So my breathing is better. And once my breathing is better, every aspect of my energy system changes. Every single aspect of my energy system changes. And there are some super benefits. Super benefits.
So whatever you are saying, I'm trying to follow. I don't know whether I'm doing it all or not, but definitely the changes, like that heaviness is gone and my breath is much lighter. And even my chest, I feel much lighter. So all those changes I'm feeling.
Yeah, so observe your changes. See, ultimately, it's your breath and your experience. So the more intimacy you build with your breath, the more you begin to understand your breath, the better will be the results that you get. See, otherwise, मैं बोलूंगा ये होगा वो होगा means nothing. Until such time as it becomes part of your experience, it means nothing. So I'm trying to share with you in ways so that it becomes part of your experience. That's why I keep asking you to practice. Practice nahi karoge, how does it become your experience? You know?
Start of the program today morning, I was having slight headache, but
Yes.
after practice this much time only, I'm feeling much relaxed at my head level.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So a lot of changes happen, subtle, obvious changes happen, and that's the idea. See, you have spent today is 7 hours directly, as far as the program is concerned, certain amount of time practicing other things and so on. So you have invested time. Time is life. So you have invested a portion of your life in this, and you should get results. So whatever I'm sharing based directly first-hand experience. This is not being shared on the basis of something I may have read somewhere that may have been part of somebody else's experience, may have been part of God knows what, somebody's imagination. No, nothing of that sort. It's all part of my own direct experience. That is all I'm sharing. I do not share anything that is not in my experience. All the breathwork techniques that I'm sharing totally come out of my own experience. And I've told you all before also, for 20 years, I smoked 40 cigarettes. Can you imagine how much damage I did to myself? How much damage? And I smoked for a total of 40 years. So I caused a lot of damage to myself. All this phlegm and Kapha Dosha and all, it's all my own doing. Other than, of course, whatever nature gave me. Other than that, so many other things, wrong lifestyle, wrong choices. But today, at 63, zero medication, no high pressure medication, though I used to take. I took high BP medicines for almost 10 years. I'm off. I'm not taking that. I go for a cup of chai in the morning. Everybody has bina chini ka chai, kam chini ka chai. They see this old man, he says double chini ka chai. People laugh at me sometimes at the morning tea shop, Rasta ka tea shop. So people laugh at me sometimes, and that's okay with me. They can laugh all they want, but I enjoy my morning chai, with double chini, and see, only because of breath work, different kinds of breath work. I have the number of conditions, ailments, diseases that I've cured with breath work is not funny. It's not funny. Sciatica has gone, piles has gone, hemorrhoids, they have gone, erectile dysfunction has gone, fibromyalgia, pain, in the body, that has gone. Innumerable things, all with breath work. So that's the power of breath work. And it's been part of my experience. That's why I'm sharing it, because I want more and more and more people to be able to benefit from this. That's all I do. All day long, I'm watching my breath, experimenting with my breath, and insights come and I share some of them. So please continue with your breath work. That same breath, allow the lotus open, the channeling of the breath up the spine and drawing in the energy from the Manipura. Now try to do this with a little variance in the speed that you are doing. So as you sit like this, allow first the lotus opening. Keep your tongue at the roof of your mouth. Belly relax. Bloat your belly a little if you like. No problem. But if it aids in the lotus opening, allow a little bit of bloating as well. And then draw the energy from the Manipura. And pull from the Muladhara up along the spine. Pull. And now as you do this, we will bring one new change in all that we are doing. As we are drawing in the energy from the Manipura, we draw in with the nose, we breathe in with the nose, and then we breathe out with our mouth rounded. Out breath with the So continue with all of this. Remember your lotus open, the Sushumna with the open lotus stays that way. You draw in the energy, pull up from the Muladhara up along the spine. That is the in breath. Out breath, rounded lips.
So the exhale from the mouth has to be in one go or in parts?
You can see, first go, allow as much as can go. And then, like in the Shvasko Shuddhi Kriya, you want to do it in a number of times, also okay, no problem.
Okay.
You can do both. Now, as you continue doing this, see, you are drawing in energy from the Manipura, right? You are drawing in energy from the Manipura. Now, imagine the Manipura, the energy that's coming from the Manipura, imagine that as a small sun, if you like, or a source of fire, like a fire, source of fire over there. And from there, allow that to radiate through all the chakra levels. So when you are drawing in the breath from the Manipura, allow that whole thing to radiate through the system, especially your Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddhi, that area, because this covers your lungs and the part where when there is any phlegm production, etc., it seems to collect more over there. So therefore, allow that the sun or that heat or whatever is coming from the Manipura to radiate, especially on the Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddhi zone, in that zone, as if it can also go to other parts, but at least more specifically over there. So lotus expanded, lotus open, in breath, and as you continue doing this, some of you might want to throw out some phlegm, and that is okay. If it happens, no problem. Snehaji, can you come back and talk to me, please? You haven't spoken to me yet today. Sneha? Yes, Snehaji. Yes, tell me what is happening.
Yeah, sorry, today there was some issue and I have to go out and left the meeting and I went out. Something happened here in the building. That's why I couldn't do much of the practice today. But before the class, I thought like, okay, let me do the exercise today. So when I was trying to lie down and do the exercise, I was feeling very, very lighter. But at the same time, I actually slept. So
Okay.
I couldn't continue with the exercise.
Nee, but
and I woke up after when the class started.
No problem. Jitna sona soiye, but do your practices. Please do them for some time. Think of them as, as almost something religious that you must do, if you like, or whatever, do it. Force yourself to do it. Convince yourself to do it. Hold on. Go with the practices. Don't miss out on this. Snehaji, I'm more particularly interested in your outcomes because I know some of the issues that you have gone with, that you are undergoing still. Therefore, I want you to be able to go more intensively into this and get results. आपके कितने आशीर्वाद मिलेंगे मेरे को? If your lung, if your breath problems are sorted out, कितना आशीर्वाद मिलेगा मेरे को बताइए? I want those आशीर्वाद.
I mean, initially now itself, like I have never done this breath work before. It was just the yoga exercise. I never knew much about the breath work. Like I said, it's only through you I came to know about this deep thing of the breathing thing. But the only thing is, in past 2-3 days I was traveling. I couldn't do the exercise. But then the belly breathing and the other thing that I'm doing it with a conscious effort, which I'm liking it. Like, okay, now it's not like a kind of exercise I do it, but even while walking around and all, I just try to do it, breathe through the nose, which is a good part because
Yeah,
initially
because
that was not
even that
possible.
was, yeah, even that you were not able to. I remember.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, very good. But करिए, ज़्यादा करिए, दिन में 2 बार करिए, जितना, see, अभी, as long as I'm with you, you know, while the program is going on, I have some time to share with you. I can give you a little bit of personal guidance. Take advantage of this now. Take full advantage of this. Come
Sure.
on. Very good. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Any comments? Any questions? Any doubts? Any clarifications?
So I have a comment. I have a question actually.
Yes, Rakesh ji, yes.
So you said round your mouth and then exhale. So yeah. So is it a forceful exhale or can
Both are good.
I
Both are good. Try both.
make it longer?
Like I said, both are good. Try both. See which
Okay.
works better for you.
Okay.
Koi mein, when you do the shorter exhale, or rather the slower exhale, you might feel that you want to expel a little more phlegm. Jitna phlegm aap throw out karte, that is good. The more you are able to throw out phlegm, the better. See, the cleansing of your body takes time. It will not happen overnight. Shwas ko shuddhi kriya, the Tridosha balancing, combine very, very powerful programs, but even so, it's going to take time. 72,000 nadis inside you, Rakesh ji. 72,000 nadis according to yogis, and these yogis somehow are always right. You know, they may, when we are young, when we don't know about all this, we might think that ye aise inhone kuch bol diya hoga. But as you go through life and observe some of the things that they've spoken about, you begin to see the amount of depth that they had in whatever they've explained. It was amazing, super. And if they say 72,000, chances are it is 72,000, not even 72,000 or 71,900. Chances are it is that much. Voice is too low. Is my sound, is my voice not clear? Is it better?
Very clear, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Snehaji said it's a little low. Right. So this is what we continue doing. Continue with this. Jitna zyada kar sakte hain, isko kariye. So whatever I told you before, every new practice that I add to the repertoire of practices that you've done before, do that whole thing together. So now whatever you have learned up till now, up till this moment, is what you will do with your free hand exercises. And even if you like to combine with your Shwasko Shuddhi, aspects of the Shwasko Shuddhi, you can combine it with that as well. But do it all, do it for as much time as you can. It's going to give you superb results, very good results. However, if your body rebels, if your body is not happy with something, sometimes ease off. Don't fight your body, ease off for some time, try again after some time. Don't give it up, ease off. That is the advice I will give you. If the body reacts to something, it's not happy with something, for that moment, for some time, ease off, come back. Let's do a 3 ohms and then we can sign out for today. Slow, deep breath, the same last breath, the whole breath. Thank you all. Practice daily and please send your reports so I know what is going on. And if you get any breakthroughs, if you notice any improvements, please share. for my information, for my knowledge, also to help others see, learn from you. Thank you all. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.